You know why we're here. I think you know why. You've got to spend a lot of time on the channel. You're eager. You're eager when you're on these calls. You're excited. A lot of momentum right now. That's led you to the channel. That's led you to this video specifically. You don't need more leads. You need more skill. I think you guys are starting to recognize that as you work through your conversation, meeting. You're talking. You're conversing. You're having great conversations with people. You're learning. Hey, it's skill. It's skill. Repetition breeds skill. And the leads aren't the issue. The skill is the problem. If I gave you guys each 100 leads today, I don't think you'd make any more money. In fact, I think you'd waste them faster. Why is that? The skill, man. You guys aren't taking time every single day. At least 20 minutes to 40 minutes every single day working on your sales pitch. You're so focused on numbers and getting clients, you don't even know how to convert the clients. And that's part of the problem. So I'm going to show you what elite closers actually do differently, and I want you to start applying these to your conversations. There are actually people closing 20 to 30% of the same leads you're talking to. Guys, same price, same market, same objections. The difference, right? What's the only difference here? It's skill, control, and precision. So you got to start implementing that. What I do off the phone, off the Google Meet, whatever, the Zoom Meet, translates onto the call. So I have to focus on my skill, my control, and my precision. If I'm not doing these things, forget about it. Right? I'm going to start losing the deal. So I need you to write this down. Amateur versus elite. Amateur versus elite. Pattern interrupt. That's huge. You guys got to get good at pattern interruptions, right? You're not doing that enough. Now, amateurs, you guys talk about your services, info dump, hopes the client sees the value, sends proposals, and wait. You never follow up. You want to know what elite closers do? And yes, these are CPAs, tax preparers, bookkeepers. Guess what they do? They control the conversations. They're diagnosing pain like a doctor. You guys got to start finding the pain and tailoring your presentations better. You have to build that emotional urgency. That's huge. Like if they don't realize they have pain, you're not controlling the conversation, there's no emotional urgency to get them to want to actually act on using your services, forget it. Close on the call. You guys got to get better at going in for the kill. I need to go inside and get that money. Right? I need to close it, shut it down. And I would write this line down. Amateurs inform and elite closers influence. The difference between an elite closer and an amateur is you're acting like an auctioneer. You're info dumping on people. Got to get away from that. The more I can influence, control, and serve and not try to sell, info dumping. The next thing you guys need to write down, the real problem. This is the goal. This is the goal. You're talking too early and thinking too little. All right, most of you guys pitch in the first 2 minutes. You're never actually finding the real pain, and that's huge, right? I mean, think about it. You don't know exactly how to diagnose this conversation yet to see if you can help this person, but yet you're throwing up your services on them. So what ends up happening, and if it's not resonating, if it's not what they're looking to solve, well, then they're tuning you out. It becomes no match, right? And you're not really tying a problem to a solution, which would be your services, if that makes any sense. And you're not attaching money to the problem. You're not getting commitments. So if you don't find pain, you don't what? You don't get paid. Okay? Write that down. If you don't find pain, I don't get paid. What was the point of going to college, getting that degree, getting those certificates? What's the point? You don't even know how to close. So if you don't find the pain, you don't get paid. That's huge, guys. Next thing we're going to cover today, elite discovery. This is where the money is made. You want skill? Well, here it is. All right. Level 1 questions. All right. What are you currently doing for your bookkeeping or taxes? That's weak. That's weak. All right. Level 2. This is where it's real. This is closer level stuff, and we're going to progress. So what you did up there, I call that level 1. What are you currently doing? Currently not doing anything good. We know that, right? So why don't you ask something better? Here's some real questions. John, what's that costing you right now by currently using that company's services? Are you aware? No, you're not. Okay. Where do you feel the most stress in your finances right now? Where do you feel the most stress in your finances right now? Well, that's big time. The next thing. Hey, these are closer level questions. I call this level 3. Write that down. Level 3. So you just did 1 week. Level 2, real. Level 3, closer level. Level 3 questions are, John, so if nothing changes, what does the next 12 months look like financially for you and your company? Notice the tone shift, the concern. Right? I might even lean in if I'm on the camera with them. And how much? Do you know how much this is actually costing you in real dollars? Well, why haven't we fixed this yet? So your income is directly tied to the depth of your questions. Your income is directly tied to the depth of your questions. Guys, write that down. That's for you. The deeper the questions, I dig, the more money I'm digging up for myself in the future. Does that make sense? So the better questions I ask, the more they talk about the situation themselves. They're telling you, you're not telling them, you're not selling them, they're telling you about the problems. Well, then they become more emotional. What they're going to do, they're going to buy, right? The more logical based thinking they are, the less inclined they are to buy. So you have to make it emotional. How do you do that? Great questions. They sell themselves. The next thing, building value. Stop selling features. Nobody cares about your certification, your degree. I'm sorry, they don't. Okay, they don't care about your cool software, your Drake softwares. They don't care about your QuickBooks Pro certificate. None of that. They really don't. And they don't care how many hours you're going to put in. You know what they care about? Write this down. They care about the green, the cash, saving the money, what that money can do for them. So save them the money. Maybe you get a trip to Disney World by us saving you all this money. You got to sell the outcome, right? They care about making money. Making money. I want to save money. I want to make money. And then I want peace of mind. So closing all the holes. That's the whole point of using an advisor, using a bookkeeper, using a tax preparer, is peace of mind. So here's a word track for you. John, honestly, based on what you told me, this isn't about bookkeeping. This is about you losing $2,000 a month and stressing every single week about your numbers. Does that feel accurate? So right there, you just made it real. So what you need to do is rewind the video and write down what I just said. Okay, maybe swap the numbers obviously swap the numbers for what's real for them. But there you go right there. Let's go to the next thing, handling objections. Well, just one specifically. Probably the one you get the most, right? Because you're info dumping, and you know that. I need to think about it. That objection is no bueno. It doesn't exist. It's actually fake. You know what it tells me? You know what it tells me? You know what it should tell yourself? Is that, hey, I didn't build enough urgency. There was no clarity. And more importantly, and probably the most important, there's no trust. Because you're getting ready to handle their finances if they need to go think about it. Right, so let me give you an elite response, something you can actually say back to them on the phone. So John, listen, totally fair. Usually when someone says that, it means one of two things. Either it doesn't feel like a priority yet, or I didn't explain it clearly enough. Which one is it for you? You got to pause, bam, hit them with which one is it for you. So you need to rewind that. I'll say it slowly, but you got to add the tone and the emphasis to it. But just for learning, here you go. So it was totally fair. Usually when someone says that, it means one of two things. Either it doesn't feel like a priority yet, or I didn't explain it clearly enough. Bam! I'm back in the conversation now. Right? Now they're going to tell you the truth. The close. You need to write this down. When you write down close, write down control the moment. If I can control the moment, I can control the outcome. And what I've listened to over hundreds of sales calls. Not even hundreds. I would say thousands at this point. You need to stop ending calls with think about it, I'll follow up. Because your stigma of salespeople is what's killing your deals. You don't want to be pushy, you don't want to be salesy, but that's actually killing your deals because they need you to be a closer. They need you. Listen, they've already raised their hand, pulling past the finish line, right? And the reason you've got this so many answers before is because you didn't build enough rapport, right? Things feel weird, things feel strange and edgy when you don't build rapport, right? So the more connection I have with a person, the more control I have in the close. So here's a really good one for you, John. Based on everything we talked about, the real question is, are you ready to fix this now or keep dealing with it for another year? And you have to be quiet and kind of let them talk and answer. Now, I know, especially if you're a salesperson doing bookkeeping, you're going to really want to talk. But as a bookkeeper, you guys are going to be good at listening. Just let them talk here. Let them answer. So, just like the title of the video says, understand you don't need more leads. You'll get more leads the more confident you feel in your sales skills. Let that sink in for a minute. The more I work on my sales skills, the more confidence I'll have. The more I'll market, the more I'll convert. Does that make sense, guys? So listen, you don't need more leads, you need better questions, better control, better closes, because the truth is, the money's already in your pipeline. You're not just skilled. You're not skilled enough to collect it, okay? The money's in your pipeline. You're not skilled enough to collect it. If we can fix that, if we can just fix that, go to my very first video, watch them all the way through, like and subscribe, and I guarantee you, a year after watching these sales videos, you will have a huge income and revenue, beautiful profit. You just got to trust me on this stuff, right? So with that being said, I've got a call to action for you. If you're serious about becoming elite, not average, I need you to subscribe and start training like a closer, not a technician. Go ahead and check us out on Universal Accounting Center. We do have tax certification, bookkeeping, advisory certification, ridiculously elite coaches to help you post-certification, help you build a business. So it's like you get the skill of building a business and equally you get the skill of tax, bookkeeping, advisory. Come on, 20 years from now, you'll be selling a 7-figure business. So, like as always, subscribe, enjoy the rest of your day.